So, the first question that I'd like to ask is, you guys have been in the industry for quite some time. What would you say is your crowning achievement and why?
Want to go first?
I was just going to ask him that, though. Well, wait, I bet Sean is your crowning achievement, though, right, Brian? Geez, I don't know. For me, it was just letting people, finding out that people would let me do stuff that I did in the shower all day long. And then they paid me for it. Just being here, period, was like, you're kidding. I do that. This is stuff used to get me kicked out of class. You know what I mean? It's like, so now, in other words, you'll pay me to do this? It's like, that was a crowning achievement right there. But I always like, for me, I just like anytime you can sing a song, and those are my happiest times. I don't know. What saith you, John?
A crowning achievement, I don't know, I would have to kind of agree with Jim on that, in that just fortunate enough to be in this business. It's just really, really cool. It's a great job, and I love what I do, and I love coming to see the fans. It's awesome. I might want to get somebody on this microphone because we can get some feedback.
We just shoved those.
Can we get an AV Club member up to the front, please? AV Club member to the front.
Yeah, some
there you go.
kids for
That's
the audio
that's
video
pretty
club.
much it.
If you just push those up about 6 inches or 8 inches farther. You know what? While John's busy, I'm gonna brag on him. He is the executive producer and bodacious ramrod of your new favorite documentary. Say it with me. I know that voice. Have mercy this evening.
Yes.
Well, that was his brainchild. That was his little baby.
That's it.
And he brought it up. He nursed it. He got it. It's healthy, live, and kicking. You'll feel the difference. Now available in suppository form. Take 2. They're small. Get a pallet or 2 for Christmas. Have mercy.
Yes. For those of you that don't know about I Know That Voice, it's a documentary that I did, and Jim is wonderful in it. But it's got all your favorite voiceover people in it. I mean, we're talking about Tara Strong, Tom Kenny, Billy West, Maurice LaMarche, David Kay, Jessica DeChico, Mona Marshall, June Foray, Gray Delisle. Everybody is in this freaking movie, and we had our big premiere on Wednesday night in Los Angeles, and it was a great thing. And then last night I went and had a screening at the press club, the National Press Club. That's right. There you go. Did you see it? And you enjoyed it, sir, didn't you?
Yes.
Excellent. Good news is that it's coming out on Viewtopia.com, which usually it's a movie subscription service, and you'll be able to watch it on demand. December 1st.
I don't see anybody writing this down.
Yeah, I know, right? There's going to be a quiz later.
But come on, Viewtopia.
Viewtopia. Look up Viewtopia, VUTOPIA.com, and it'll give you local listings on your whatever cable network you have, whether it be Time Warner cable or I think Comcast and Cox. So you're covered, I think. So, but just definitely check Viewtopia. Also on iTunes on January 7th, which is really cool. But the best part is that I actually have copies of the film with me here today.
Are you saying that these people could pick some up today?
Actually pick some up. We're signing after we're done here. We'll be signing over there, and you can come pick one up. It's only $20, but it's a special collector convention edition. So you're in luck. If you want to see it now, you can. I have it for sale.
Take 2. They're small.
Yes, that's right. Just put it in there. No,
excellent.
But that's what I'm talking about. So if you have questions, I guess you can line up right over there by that young man dressed as Finn.
And by the way, it is a heck of a crowning achievement.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
You feel the difference.
Yes.
Yes.
I feel it.
And Lenny Schwartz is in it too. It was amazing. And Lenny, a lot of big Lenny Schwartz fans. So yeah.
All right, we're ready for some questions. Let it rip.
Uh-oh, this guy's trouble.
This guy's ready.
Now, wait a minute, have you ever seen a cartoon called Adventure Time? I'm just curious. Is there any chance? Okay.
What's your question, young man?
Oh, good. Let's hear it for the youngest mime in the room, ladies and gentlemen. He's amazing. He is Dos Mucho. Go ahead.
There it
try
is.
at home.
What's my favorite Adventure Time episode? I would have to say when Jake has puppies.
Yeah!
Because one of the weirdest things in that episode happens when the foxes get that book thrown to them, and the foxes say, "I can't believe it. We can eat babies." The strangest, weirdest show ever. We can eat babies. It says right here in the book, we should go try and eat some babies. Wow. That's it. Yeah, I know that show is a little
Jake had
trippy.
puppies, and you know what's amazing is John has no stretch marks, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
know, it's incredible.
None.
I came away without scars. It's a good thing.
Yes, indeed.
Awesome.
Uh-oh. Stand smash.
I like that shirt.
Yes, sir. Oh, jeez. Wow. Jeez, I don't... I kind of don't... if I stop to think about it, then I probably wouldn't be able to do it. I remember there's an episode or when Angel of the X-Men showed up with what was it like? He was wearing a T-shirt and he goes, "How'd you get the T-shirt over the wings?" He goes, "I don't know. Oh, now I'll never be able to do it again." So I don't know. Honestly, it's just, I've never liked hedgehogs, honestly. I mean, I'm not the only one. And that hedgehog drove me crazy. Silly. And we all feel the same. And no, you just kind of mold it together and see what the producers and the writers and Jaleel White liked. And who knows who Jaleel was? Come on, Sonic, come on, let's hear it. That's right, yeah, he knows. Urkel. And you just hope for the best, And then you have to read the script and say the words in the right order. All right. I'm sure I didn't answer that at all. Hey, pal. Oh, yeah.
I'm a huge fan of how they all want to know. It might be a little early for you people ask all the time, but I want to know, could you do a scene like Bender to meet Dr. Robotnik?
Bender meets Dr. Robotnik.
That's gonna be ugly.
Well, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Wow. So they say you're a doctor, huh?
Would you like an exam?
Okay. Sounds good to me. Hey, why are you playing with my ass? I think that's how the scene would go. Yeah.
Pretty sure of that.
Bender going right to mentioning his shiny metal ass. Yes. Sorry, parents with kids here. I apologize.
Then Robotnik pulls his finger.
Yes.
See?
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Yay! Hooray! Hooray for my ass!
He's losing air pressure. See?
Yes. Does that work for you? All right. Awesome.
Excellent. Don't sit on a hedgehog with that balloon.
Hi there. Just a question, quick question for both of you. When you're putting together a new voice, or trying to come up with a new voice for a character and you haven't done a voice before, what do you generally look towards for inspiration, or who do you look towards for?
I look to him. Yeah, right? Inspiration.
No, that's a common question that's asked of us, and for me, it's usually when you're given a character to read for, you'll get what's known as a character Bible. And the character Bible just describes who, what, where, when, and why about that character. So, say he's from a particular region, he speaks with a dialect, you add that dialect in. Maybe he's got a speech impediment. If you look at the picture and you see what kind of face they have, you try and visualize like what their mouth would look like or something like that. Maybe they're heavy set, maybe they're big, maybe you play against type and use a small little voice for a really huge guy. It all depends. Plus, whatever you think of that day. Sometimes, you know, you're screwing around, you make up a silly voice, and you might want to use that just to see if it floats. Whatever you throw on the wall and whatever sticks, you kind of go for it. And that's kind of really how I roll with it, you know, and just you know, try and please who's making it, you know. Jim?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I always say instincts are the best stinks.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you go with something and if it's kind of making you laugh, then chances are it'll make the next guy laugh, you know. And it's like John was saying, you know, if you got to work with the producers, directors, the artists, and the writers, and not the writers, no, just kidding. But no, you know, and you just kind of mold it. And I always, like Billy tells the story, Billy West, our partner in crime, when he was doing...
Yeah, when he was doing Zoidberg.
You know,
When he does Zoidberg, he had like, you know, he's like, you know, there's a lot of meat hanging off of his mouth.
Yeah.
So he tried to think of, you know, what marble mouth people he knew. And there's a couple of actors from Yiddish theater, you know, that Georgie Jessel, like, and he is a marble mouth. And so, in another actor, Lou Jacoby, who also had a marble mouth too. So he put the two together to make Zoidberg. Isn't that wonderful?
it's really good, man. Billy better not get sick.
Young lady, get me a sandwich from the dumpster. And leave the maggots on it. So that's, you know, you just see what sticks, you know.
Thank you very much.
And you know, I can tell you this, what I've always done, and Hank Azaria said this too, but when I very first started out, it was in the 80s, and one of the first things I did was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I was a bad guy named Shredder. Oh wait, well, I was Shredder for 1 year, but the guy I'm thinking of right now was Leatherhead. And I used to be a deckhand on a riverboat when I was a kid in New Orleans. And the first tugboat captain I ever had was a guy named Léonce Leblanc. And he was from there in Napoleonville. And he was from America, but he talked like that. Because he was a Cajun, you know, and so that guy talked exactly like that. He was like 75 years old. I was 18. He was 75. It was the last time on the river. And I heard him, and I just couldn't resist doing an impression of him. And it was like, that how that guy talk like that. Yeah, you're right, that's right. You see that right there, Bo, they get over there. That's what I'm telling you. Now you repeat that back to me. I'm sorry, what did you say? Anyway, so I used him dead on as Leatherhead. So, and I always wondered if his grandkids, when that show came out like 8 or 9 years later, hey Grandpa, come in here. See this alligator? What the hell? You know, what is right with this picture? So if you do a really good impression of somebody nobody knows,
That
free
could work
character.
too. That could work
And
too.
a lousy impression of somebody everybody knows. They go, who is that? Well, that was my best John Wayne. I thought it was Katharine Hepburn. New character.
That's
New
it.
character, right?
That's it.
Mix and match.
That's
so
it.
That's part of it.
Whatever sticks. He's a fun guy.
It's true.
Apparently.
First of all, I want to say it's an honor to be able to talk to both of you. It's just, I've been thinking about this all day long. It's already
So don't screw it up now.
Yeah, man.
I'm sorry, you're already jinxing this.
It's an honor to get talked to.
I'm going to play favorites. I have one question for John. I have two questions for Jim.
Okay.
All right. John, obviously you have awesome personality. You seem to be pretty...
Thanks.
You seem to be pretty theater-esque. I got to ask, have you ever improv any lines in any of your characters? The red one, oh my God, you're going to use that?
Yeah.
Have you ever not?
Yeah. I think, you know, when you're working on it, when you're doing a script, you really want to stick to it and get that done first before you start to play. I mean, you play with it, you know, you play when you read the script, but if you think that there's something that might be funny and you throw it out there, you know, just as long as they have what they need covered, they're perfectly willing to play with you. So, case in point, you know, when Bender would walk around on this, in the street or something like that, or if he was, you know, just strolling by himself, we had this thing called the Bender strut. There was a Bender whistle and the Bender strut. And basically, they just told me to just, we'll do something. So his whistling they said he wanted to hum or to scat or something like that, but to make it not musical in order to not have to pay any royalties to anybody. So I would do the whistle and just walk down the street. But then there was the Bender strut, which was and so
Everybody sing along. Come on.
I know, right?
Come on, let's say.
And so it was funny because like I did that, and then they would just put in after the fact, like, okay, Bender strut, that was the thing. But I get paid by ASCAP because that's a song that I wrote for the show. So every time it plays, I get paid, which is kind of cool.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
How come I've been doing that for years? It never occurred to me, man. He's
Oh,
smarter
man,
than
I got an ASCAP
Much
card and
smarter
everything.
than I am.
And ASCAP is the Songwriters Guild, so that's pretty funny.
That's
I'm in the
pretty good.
union. Hey,
Hey,
I'm in the union.
excellent.
Wait, oh.
Yes.
So now your 2 questions for Jim.
What
And then, Jim, obviously you're very well known for playing a lot of violence. You know, you're sort of an anarchist.
What is that supposed to mean? Just kidding.
Yes,
Go on.
exactly.
Just go. Okay.
I have to ask, you know, Don Carnage, obviously Don Robotnik, all these villains. Who do you favorite? Do you have a favorite villain that you portray?
Well, Don Carnage is way up there. Yeah, I really liked him, and you know, Pete. I guess you know, Don Carnage. He was because he was so amazing. You know, I tell you something. If I was not me, I would envy you getting to meet me because that is how amazing Don Carnage is. But so yeah, but I guess he was a villain. But I like Hondo Ohnaka from Clone Wars. He was kind of like similar to Don Carnage. He wasn't a bad guy, but you don't want to play poker with him or hold my wallet. Well, of course. But so I don't know. I just had, what was the question? It was something about villains. I don't know. I like villains. It's great because I do one Winnie the Pooh and I can do like 3 villains and even out. Because it's just, you know, he pulls it right back, so it's to the center. So it's a good thing. Yeah.
And I guess my last question is, and I hope the fans get behind me when I ask this one. Are we ever going to see a Darkwing Duck revival? Are we going to see a movie?
Well, I am the terror that flaps in the night. And the floaty that will not flush in the toilet bowl of crime. I am Darkwing Duck.
And so I wish there would. We did a Funny or Die. HBO has a web, or I think I forget who. I think
Yeah,
it's
it's HBO, yeah.
Funny or Die. They had I did this thing. It was a fake Kickstarter campaign. It was on April Fool's Day, and a lot of people are going, "Oh, wow, I'll put it. It's April Fool's Day." But you know, I guess if enough people make a bunch of noise, maybe they will. I'll do it.
That's how we brought Futurama back. So if you make a stink about it,
That's right.
if you make a stink about it, somebody will go, you know what? We have a crowd for this. Why don't we make
That's
something?
right. Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah. Bring
All right.
Futurama back again and Darkwing, and we'll all be happy.
And here is a man with a full-size
Oh
doll.
yes. Well, we don't want to know what's going to go on later, do we?
I have one question.
Yes.
I read on your IMDb page that you played a character in Skyrim. Hours. I wanted to know what character what was the process like?
In Skyrim, geez, you know, that was like the Elder Scrolls, right? And everything. Yeah. Well, I know that they just wanted him to be sort of non-specific, and it was interesting because with video games, you know, you're always alone, right? I mean, you know, there's nobody to play off of. So the trick is to just, you know, react in the moment of all these 10,000 situations, and just, you know, read the scene off the inside of your forehead, I guess, because there's nothing to work off of. And they wanted him to be kind of like a storyteller, sort of a wise guy, sort of an older guy, but he's timeless and he's ageless. And I think they gave me that because I did that thing. There's a thing in Epcot, Disney, and there was similar direction, and it was the guy sitting around the campfires. Anybody ever seen that where they blow out the lights? I think they do it every night around, and then they blow up fireworks. But anyway, it was sort of that wizened old mage, and you don't know where he's from, and you don't know how old he is, but he's world weary and he knows everything, and then you do those 10,000 lines, and then I get to answer that question.
I started to hear it as you're talking about it.
They leak out.
Yes.
I had a serious question for you. Have you ever thought about turning off your TV, sitting down with your kids, and feeding them?
Yes. I think about that all the time. Yes. Ever think about turning off your television and sitting down with your kids and hitting them? Just punch them right in the gut. Not a face shot, because then the cops come. That's true. Just take the wind right out of them. Boop! That means chores done for weeks.
Bender's parenting tips.
Hooray! Spanking!
More parenting tips with Bender, everyone's favorite dad.
Spike the Kool-Aid! All right! You guys like mud, right? That's what we're having for dinner.
That's right.
Bam.
He's even got recipes.
Riddle me this, sir.
I have two questions, and the first one is, how did you guys get to where you are now?
Alaska Airlines.
Yes, I flew Virgin America. They're
Well,
pretty
he's
cool.
not going back, but seriously. Hey, I'll tell you, you kids are marvelous.
How did you get started? Well, I mean, like, I've always been acting since I was a kid, and I went to school for it, and then after school I started doing stand-up, and then after stand-up I started to do, I went back to do more acting, and then while I was doing that I started doing animation, and then I'm here. So it's kind of like, it's just, the right people in your life, you steer yourself towards the right things, and you put that hustle on, and you learn how to listen to know. You learn how to listen to critique of yourself and absorb what you know is right, and you know what is wrong, and you just be accountable. That's really how you get here.
Yeah. When I was a little kid, I knew I kind of wanted to do this. So, honestly, like when I was even 4 or 5, I remember my dad, there was a show that Paul Winchell, who was Tigger and Jerry Mahoney and Dick Dastardly and a bunch of guys, and then Mel Blanc, who was everybody.
Yeah.
He was like the Beatles or Elvis of the VO guys. Well, I remember my dad going, you see this guy right here, this bastard right here, that's my dad cussed. And I'd say, yeah, he goes, that's the guy that does Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck. And then you could hear it, and I was thinking, well, geez, he's doing stuff that gets me kicked out of class, and everybody likes him. So I thought maybe I'll try that enough. But I was always in plays, I can tell you that, as a kid, and I was 12 years old, and instead of wanting to be the young prince, I wanted to be the wizard or the ogre. You know what I mean? Because that's a harder thing for a 12-year-old to do. And I think I was accidentally training myself to be here. And then when I was 13, I was in my first band. I played drums and sang, and that's another performing thing. And I knew I was either going to be a musician, an actor, a singer, or a painter. I did all those things, but not a dancer. Not a dancer. You don't want to see this. Nobody wants to see that. But you put all that stuff together, and like I say, I actually really did know I wanted to do this. But at the time, it was 1984, and I didn't know it was impossible to break into. So I made a demo tape, and I gave it to a guy, and I lucked out and got an audition, and then I just quit my job. And so it's a weird. See, I don't know that there's a good path. I don't know that there's a path, is it?
No, I don't think there's a path. The only path is your own.
Yeah, because you're not going to do it, especially, don't do it the way I did it. Don't do that. But go out there and go get them. And if you believe in yourself, it'll show.
And could you guys say my name, Sammy Garcia?
Say your name, Sammy Garcia.
Sammy Garcia.
Sammy Garcia. Sammy Garcia.
friend. His name is
Sammy Garcia. Sammy Garcia.
Sammy Garcia. Sammy Garcia, ladies and gentlemen.
Sammy Garcia. Sammy Garcia. You left your lights on outside. Sammy Garcia. Sammy Garcia. Sammy Garcia, please come to the principal's office. Sammy Garcia.
Oh, he's heard that before.
Sammy Garcia, please come to the vice principal's office right now.
Yes. Thanks, Sammy.
Sammy Garcia. Excuse me. Sammy Garcia. Sammy Garcia. Excuse me. Sammy Garcia. That's it.
Sammy Garcia, you're losing air.
Sammy Garcia. It's kind of a musical name, isn't it? Yeah, it is. It's awesome. Oh, Sammy Garcia. That's right. He's coming at you, baby. It's Sammy Garcia. Look out. Oh no, they're clapping in the audience now. People are actually clapping for Sammy Garcia. Yeah. Sammy! Garcia! Samuel!
Sammy Garcia!
So what's your name again? Sammy Garcia, ladies and gentlemen. With a Y? Oh, the P is silent?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes, sir.
I got it!
He got it.
I got it!
The ringtone from hell.
So, my question,
Yes. Oh, sorry. No, you should ask the question first.
coming up with new character voices or stepping into voices that have already been
Established.
established
You know, I'll answer this frankly. It's easier to come up with original characters for me. I don't think there's a character I'd really feel comfortable replacing. I mean, unless that character was retired and they really, that actor that does that
You're
character.
talking about impressions or a whole...
I'd rather recreate it than do, like, if somebody says, this is the voice of, for example, the Joker. Like, I did the Joker, and it wasn't like anybody else's Joker. I wasn't going to go and do an impression of Mark Hamill.
Yeah, which was cool, though. That's what they wanted.
And they wanted something else. I mean, like, the Joker that I played is the Joker that's going to, show up in an episode of Oz, That's the Joker I played, and it's completely different than other Jokers.
Not the Wizard of either.
Yeah, we're not talking about Wizard of Oz. We're talking about the show Oz, and you young people here, you don't want to know what that is. So,
That's right.
but that's the thing. I'd rather create something. I can do an impression of people, but I think I'm good with that. And that's a whole thing, and he's got that covered. With Tigger and Pooh, like, he nails it. Like, it's perfect, and it's awesome. Oh yeah, kids are always like, do it, man, do it, do the Pooh, do Winnie, bro, do Winnie,
Do the Pooh.
But what's it like for you to do those legacy voices?
Yeah, it's boy, I don't know. I think it's more fun to come up with a new guy, because that's you can't do it wrong. So you got that going for you. But as far as like taking over an established character, the trick is it's just got to sound like him, like right off the bat, even before. Even just the sound, like if it was going to be Christopher Lloyd's Jim Ignatowski, you should be able to go wah wah, and not even say anything, but sound like that guy. Okay, well, who was well, that's Reverend Jim or whatever, And so if job one is to sound like the guy first, and then you layer in your own stuff, and you have to be true to that character because it's established. Whereas the new guy, it's a little freer, and it's a little more fun. I don't know. It's probably, I don't know if easier is the right word, but I prefer it.
You know what it is? It's less constrained. It's less because there's constraints on a legacy voice.
Yeah.
And it's hard work and it's good work and it's just as rewarding. But somebody's watching you now. You know, everybody's watching, exactly, and everybody's watching. So there's a much more scrutinous eye on you when you do you do a legacy.
That's for sure.
So,
Thank you very much.
you're welcome.
Yes,
Thank you.
indeed.
Good question.
Yes.
What's happening?
Doing good, doing good. I'd like to thank you, Jim Cummings and John, for doing the business of Bender, James Dog, Cat Dog, remember that?
Cat dog, come on, people.
Yeah. Thank you. He remembers.
Oh yeah.
Well, you're very welcome.
Yeah. I got two questions for you. In the voice acting industry, do you ever come across like any difficulties, like if your voice was, if you couldn't produce your best voice and you didn't do your best outtake, like, is there such a thing as a failed voice acting attempt or something, or do you?
Let me answer this. Let me answer this part of your question for you. If I'm not up to par, I won't go in the studio because I'm wasting somebody's time. I'm wasting a lot of people's time and a lot of people's money because I'll have to come back and redo it anyway. And also, I'm putting other actors at risk by coming into the studio if I'm sick, which is usually the only reason you can't do your voice. So I won't come into work, one, because I won't be able to do the job, and two, I don't want to affect the rest of the production and get people sick. So those are the days like that. Like,
You gotta keep your voice.
oh, absolutely. You got to keep your body is your instrument, and you have to take care of it. That's job one as an actor. And what's the second question, my man?
It could be because I saw YouTube network. I knew that I heard Jake rap in that one Adventure Time episode where he was making that omelet thing. I don't know what it was.
Oh, he wasn't making it. He was making it. He was making bacon pancakes.
Making pancakes.
Yes.
The good kind.
John and Jim, please do a rap to it, please.
Well, I'll sing. I'll tell you what. I'll sing the making bacon pancakes song.
Look at that. Sammy Garcia coming through again. You're on fire today, Sammy.
And Sammy Garcia is hot
He
as
is
a
on
plate.
fire.
This guy is playing really well. He's 2 for 2. He's got an RBI single.
He is
and a double, and he's got a Winnie the Pooh hat. That is some wild stuff right there. But I will sing Making Bacon Pancakes. You guys ready? Making pancakes, making bacon pancakes. I take some bacon and I put it in a pancake. Bacon pancakes, that's what it's gonna make. Bacon pancakes. There you go.
That's how that goes. How was it?
How was it, Sammy? Sammy says it was spot on.
Sammy's wicked. All right.
Sammy Garcia.
Life is good, ladies and gentlemen.
How's it going? Well, I think that the acting part of being an actor is being able to essentially fake that stuff really well. I mean, to be connected to it, of course, and be real about it. But it's all pretend and it's all play. So I mean, if you're getting emotionally affected for real, you know, I'm not. I mean, you know, yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, you do
Why
get
did you
there.
have to bring that up?
Yeah, you do get there. I mean, you do get, you know, there's certain times when it's just like, okay, I can't, you know. Like anytime I have to do anything for Christmas, like a Christmas song or something, I get choked up. I don't know why. Like just Christmas time is
It
like,
never happens to me.
Christmas time makes me just like, I love Christmas. But if I'm in the studio and I have to record like a Christmas song or something like that, it'll be July and I'll be like, Christmas is the time. It's ridiculous. That's the only time I can't keep it together. Other than that, I'm fine.
Ditto. I was just gonna say that.
Yeah. And yes? Is Futurama really over forever?
Not
Good news is Good news is we have a crossover episode with The Simpsons coming out in May.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, May of 2014. So look out for that.
That grinning guy, he's getting around.
Yeah, that Matt Groening guy gets around like the clown. Nice laugh, Joker. Anyway, that was awesome. That was a cackle from the corner. But you know, listen, you saw the last episode, right? There's hope there. So who knows? I mean, it could happen. We came back from the dead before. I mean, the show as it is zombie Futurama, so nobody knows that. Got that zombie blood running through our veins. Zombie blood. But that's it, man. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Anything can happen with Futurama. I hope it comes back.
All right.
Yes,
Twitter.
Jake the dog. How's it going?
Look at that.
I have a question. This is very important to you. Is there a character that you find you relate to most?
The character I relate to most. Well, if I'm at a bar, it's Bender.
Yeah.
Sorry, kids.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
He's not called teetotaler.
He's on a bender.
He's on a bender.
Yeah, he's not going halfway.
That's right.
No, I don't know. I don't think, you know, I mean...
You don't want to take it too seriously.
Yeah, you never take it too seriously.
Yeah.
It's all in fun, you know. I mean, I don't think listen, I'm not going swimming underwater because I play Aquaman, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Because I would go swimming underwater, but not for all I long. Or be like, in Gears of War, like...
Yeah,
I'm
right.
not gonna go break out a chainsaw gun.
Anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Then he has to.
At the bar. Jeez.
Today.
Oh.
Okay, maybe later.
Yeah. But I hope that answers.
I think maybe between Tigger and Darkwing and Don Carnage, I'm in there somewhere. Mostly Taz, though. But other than that, no. Joker's crushing it.
Yeah, I know. Joker's freaking out. Hi. How's it going?
Hello.
All right. Oh,
Thanks
thank
for
you
being
for having us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Questions. The first is, how voice acting as a job is motivation change?
Well, I don't know.
You know, computers. Computers have definitely changed the game. It's opened the door for a lot more people to try and get in to the business because you can go and go to your local, Sam Ash or Guitar Center or whatever and go get, a microphone that you can plug into your computer that already has, GarageBand on it, and you can make your own demos. Before, you couldn't do that. You'd have to go to a studio or something like that, and you had to get it professionally done and what have you. And now you're just able to have these resources at your fingertips. I auditioned from home. I used to have to go to different places to audition. Now I audition from home, and if I get called back, that's when I go in and go see them. But I think for me, it's been computers that's really changed, and like a lot of things,
And then one thing that's changed is when I first started, there was just weren't that many celebrities, but now it's like you're fighting Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise. It's like, guys, if I don't mess around with Angelina Jolie, stay away from the Cartoon Network. You know what I mean? Would it kill you, Brad Pitt? Who cares? All right, fine. I guess some people do. Fine.
Some people care about Brad Pitt.
But
stop it.
But there's that, and also, excuse me. I like doing shows when everybody's there, the whole cast is there, and that doesn't happen all that much anymore. Not that many shows. The Clone Wars do, and just a few. I just like it more. Penguins of Madagascar, always good crew.
Yeah.
That
was always a fun
But they seem to do it solo. With movies, you do that all the time. You're always alone, and when you're singing, for the most part, you're always alone. But I just like having the other people in the room. Because you can feed off each other, it's just more fun. It's more organic, feels better, so that's a biggie with me. So and the fact that everybody and their dog is doing it.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah. It's a lot more people. A lot more people in the game.
leave us alone,
Yeah.
please. But that's a biggie. Yeah. Oh, sure. Princess and the Frog, yeah. Oh, thank you. I do too. He's really one of my favorites. My little girl Gracie, she was the same age at the time the movie was being made as Princess Tiana was. Well, she was 4, and they looked alike even. And so that, and I knew, and it's funny because when you have kids. They're doing this movie about New Orleans, and it's going to be the first little black girl is going to be a princess, and it's going to be in a real, actual, live city that really does exist in the world. All the other ones are like, Agrabah or under the water. And I being halfway from New Orleans, I thought, oh my God, this is my town. This is my daughter. I mean, I joked around and I said, if you don't put me in this movie, I'm going to sue you because you're stealing my kid's picture here. So I kind of amalgamated a bunch of guys that I knew in my head to come up with Ray. And one nice thing I can tell you about Ray is that we're talking about ad-libbing and everything. I don't think I ever said one word. Well, I did. It's like John was saying before, you do say what's written. And then I would always do like 2 or 3 other different things. And I mean, like, there was this one thing where he got smacked and got knocked into a rock, and he goes, oh man, that's going to leave a mark in the morning. So instead I said, oh no, I think I done chipped my favorite tooth. And they just let me ad-lib with it, and he was one of my absolute favorites. And so I'm glad you liked him, and because it had everything for me. It had New Orleans. It even had food. Come on. What else do you want? Egg in your beer? So yeah. Well, I'm glad you like that. Yeah. Thank you.
I just want to let you guys know we're our last 8 minutes, so we'll have maybe 2 more questions.
Okay. All right. Depending on how short we keep our answers, so let's see if we can get them
quick.
Hi.
What do you think Jake's reaction would be if he met Cake?
What would Jake's reaction be if he met Cake? Well, first of all, Jake is a dog, Cake is a cat. Immediately there'd be a problem. So excuse me, but listen, lady, I don't need to hear no meowing out of you. In fact, I'm gonna bark at you. Woof woof. Uh-oh. That's what I think it'd sound like. But then later on, they'd go lay down and sleep by a fire together. And he would snore and she would purr.
Life is good.
Yay!
Sounds good to me.
Awesome.
Thunderlips. Or cats.
Thundercats. Thundercats. Oh!
Yes, sir.
What is your favorite animation you guys have watched?
Favorite animation?
It's a tough one. Finger puppets. Shadow puppets. Definitely. Yeah, definitely my favorite. Yeah.
I would have to say my favorite stuff is the Futurama stuff.
Yeah.
And I love the way Adventure Time looks.
Yeah.
I've been really fortunate to work on some really cool shows, and the artwork has been fantastic. And sometimes even just very, very silly, Even on, what was that silly show I did? Problem Solvers. Even that show was so strange and so weird, and it was, and sometimes the animation looked boxy and ugly, but even in that there was beauty. So I don't know. But my Futurama was my favorite.
Yeah, mine too. I like that. They do that one thing that kind of gets Iron Giant-y. like with the spaceships and everything. When they kinda, you know what I'm talking about?
No, the
I like
3D
that look.
the
It's
3D
a cool,
animation.
it's a hip look. I really dig that look. I like his stuff more than mine, so that's why I'm. No, you know what? I do like, and I don't even really 100% know what to call it, but Star Wars Clone Wars, that look that they had.
That's beautiful.
That was pretty darn cool.
That's gorgeous stuff.
In fact, yeah, when they would do some of the spaceships out there, it looked like photography, you know, and then, you know, a Wookiee would walk on, you go, oh, okay, that's not NASA. It's not the actual moon, it's another one. But that was a good one. And there was a weird show called Chalk Zone. I don't know if that was Scrawl and Nicola, nobody heard of it, damn, sorry. No, but that was kind of cool. Just the look of it, you know. And you know what? I like the classic animation that you know Disney and DreamWorks did, and I like that old look. The 2D, like Princess and the Frog was that, and when
Bugs Bunny.
Yeah,
Gotta love Bugs Bunny.
You know, Chuck Jones. Sammy says 5 minutes.
Sammy says 4 minutes.
But yeah, how about you?
What's your favorite, huh? Yeah. Adventure Time, of course.
Excellent. A man of discerning taste.
Yes.
A man of wealthy taste. And yes, miss.
Oh, Pastor Mike, yo. That's my man right there.
I have a question for John.
Yes.
What is your favorite Adventure Time song?
My favorite Adventure Time song, Making Bacon Pancakes, is pretty awesome. And then Punchy Your Buns. That's a Finn song, but I like that song.
Punching your buns! Punching your buns! Punching your buns! Punching for fun!
It's weird. Talking about punching people in the butt. That's weird.
It is.
My brother likes that song too.
That's funny. Tell your brother he likes punching butts.
He too has excellent taste, apparently.
Thanks for the question. And the final question from Hit Girl.
We'll be over there in a little bit.
Thanks,
Of course
everybody.
I can. What's her name? Right. Karen, wherever you are, Darkwing is here.